Welcome back. I'm Paul, and it is Sunday, so it's time to go through the 12-pound barrel. See how everything's looking. And see what we've got room to add. Got a lot of Bahia agates in here and Botswana agates. Some red jasper we added last week. A little bit of green adventurine in there that we're kind of keeping an eye on to see how well it's going to hold up in the 12-pound barrel, or if I need to tumble it by itself in the 3-pound barrel, but we'll see how it looks. We still have a little tiger eye and unikite and other things like that going on in there yet too. We're getting a lot of reds and oranges in there. We're going to have to get some different colors going on. Alright, I'll go through those and see how everything's looking and see what's ready to move on. We'll take a look at some stuff, and we can figure out what we're going to use to fill the barrel this week. Alright, after going through that, we don't have a lot of stuff moving on this week, so we're not going to take that close of a look at it. It's just a little bit of unikite, and there's some red jasper there, and some tiger eye. There's one piece of chert that we threw in a while back, and it's looking really good, so that stuff's all ready to move on. Not too much excitement. And we kind of took a look last week at everything that's actually in the barrel, and there's a lot of stuff going on in that 12-pound barrel, but we'll take a look at a few of my favorites here. One of them is this big Bahia agate, and I still might end up cutting this thing because I'm betting it's probably wild on the inside, but it looks pretty cool on the outside too, and it's a big piece, so we're just going to keep rolling it and see what it turns into. I feel like it looks a little cooler every week as we wear down into it, and it doesn't have many flaws on the outside. That was the main reason that I decided just to tumble this as it is, but we'll see what we expose as we go. It might be in there for a while yet. I pulled out a few of my other favorite Bahia agates. Some of these just have some awesome lines going on. This one I cut on this face just to expose some more of the bands on the inside, because you could see the outside that it had a lot going on the inside. So it's got a lot of cool stuff going on with it. And we've got another Bahia agate. I'm going to have the next few here will all be Bahia agates. This one's kind of more white. It's got like some eyes on this side. And I don't know what we'll do with that because they've got holes in them. We'll tumble it a few more weeks and see how it looks, see if we can clean it up a little bit more. This one is a lot like that one. It's got some pretty cool layers on it and bands, but it's got those holes and those pits in it. But we'll work on it a little bit more. This one's got some really faint bands in it that looks a little bit different than a lot of the other Bahia agates. It doesn't have as much color, but you can really see the bands in it. And the rest of it just looks about the same on the outside, same as all the other ones. But it looks pretty cool. I like the kind of real faint bands in that one. And this one's got some pretty cool, you don't see a lot of them that look like that. At least the ones that I've gotten don't have a lot that look like that one. So that one's pretty cool. And it's looking pretty good. And we've got this one that's got a quartz pocket running down the middle of it, and you can see all the bands, and then the quartz pocket running through there. It's got a lot of really tiny faint bands in it. Not faint, I shouldn't say, just really thin bands. I really like that one. It looks really cool in person. And then this is another one that has some really cool bands and eyes going on it right here. It looks really cool. Just got eyes all over it. So we'll keep tumbling that one a little bit. And then I think that's all for the Bahia agates. So I got a few Botswanas that I've pulled out that have a lot of cool banding on them. And some of these are getting pretty close. I'm thinking we'll be able to start pulling some of these Bahia and the Botswanas out within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'd say. And they're pretty hard, so they take a long time to tumble, but they're really coming along. I really like the band pattern on that one. It looks really cool. And then it has it on the bottom side too. And another one. This one's more of a black and white one, but it's got a really cool band pattern on it. I think I like this side the best. That one's looking nice. It's pretty well white on this side. It's got a few little holes that we're going to work on tumbling out yet. This one's got pretty neat bands on it. And it's looking really nice. It's got some weeks left in it yet. It's kind of got a fracture in it there, and it's going to be one of those things we won't be able to get rid of that, but we'll make it look the best we can. And then here's another Botswana that's got some really sweet bands on it. I really like that one. I like it when they come to a point like that. And then the backside's kind of the outside of it. Doesn't have a lot of excitement on the outside. And this is the last one that I pulled out in the Botswanas. This one's another one that's got some really fine bands in it. Almost like shadow banding. If I turn it in the camera right there in the middle of the rock, you can see how there you see the white, and when I tip it this way, you can see into it, in between all the layers. And I think they call that shadow banding. But yeah, that one's looking really good. So then I also pulled out one piece of the Green Adventuring, and it's looking pretty good. I don't think I'm going to add any more into the 12-pound barrel because it has some fractures in it that you can kind of see there. I'm hoping we can tumble that out without adding any, but I'm going to keep a close eye on a few of them. If I feel like we're adding fractures, I'm going to take it out and I'll just run it in the 3-pound barrel by itself. And then this is a piece of our red jasper, and this is one of the ones that have more yellow and different color. Well, pretty well just red and yellow, but it's a little bit more exciting with some different colors in it rather than being just red. And it's starting to look pretty nice. And the last thing I pulled out is I've got a couple of our seam plume agates that we've got sent in from a subscriber. And they're looking pretty good. They were pretty rough on the outside when we first started. And you can kind of see the plume agate on the inside. And the outside, it's pretty smooth. I mean, we're really grinding it down, and I think we're exposing more of the agate to where you can see how cool it is on the inside as we tumble it. So we're going to let them roll a little bit more. And here's the bigger one. It doesn't have as much as that one, but it's got some going on. They're looking pretty cool. We'll see what they turn into as we roll them for a while. So this week, I'm going to try something that is kind of unconventional, but I've got some geodes and some thunder eggs sitting in the garage that we're going to be doing some more cutting. But I saw a video where a guy had a solid geode and he tumbled it, and it actually tumbled all the outside part off, and you could see all the agate, and the one that he had was solid and it still had water on the inside. And I know that this one doesn't have water on the inside, but I just want to see what it looks like after we tumble it. And if it breaks open, I'm okay with that. I just want to see what happens when we roll this in coarse grit. Because normally, obviously, on a geode, you would cut it and see all the cool stuff on the inside, but we're going to see what happens when we tumble it. And then I also have this thunder egg that is broken, and you can see, I believe that that's a spot where the rhyolite broke off of that edge, and it might break up more, but I've got another 10 pounds or so of these, so I'm just curious. I want to see what they do when you put them in the tumbler. So we're just going to roll them one time and see what happens. You don't know unless you try, right? So we're going to throw those in, and then we're going to add a little bit more of our red jasper. That's probably all right. We got a lot of stuff in there. So we're going to dump a little bit of the water out. Maybe just a touch more. So we've got all that in there. I've got 14 tablespoons of the 4670 silicon carbide grit. We'll dump it in, and we're ready to roll for another week. I'm pretty excited just to see what that geode and that thunder egg does in a week. If you liked our video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. And if you want to see, we've got a lot of stuff coming up, but it's a slow process, as you know, especially in the 3-pound barrels. So I'm probably not going to have a Wednesday video this week because I've got a lot of things going on, and I'm getting ready to go for a little vacation. So we'll get back into that as we have more time. But for the next couple weeks, it'll probably just be the Sunday video. So go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of the other things that we have coming up. Thanks for watching.